I've thought about this. I've thought about some things that might have drew me away from wrestling. Why I even started my own RPG show. What's it about? And I could keep going with it, at least eventually. My mind is kind of somewhere else right now. I'm kind of working on something else that's at least want to be seen by somebody, but that's besides the point. The point of this video is why wrestling entertainment cannot be mainstream. Now, this is nothing against wrestling fans. I don't have a problem. I'm not against anybody being a fan of wrestling so much. It's more so why it's not mainstream and why it's not meant to be mainstream. And the thing is, it was hot one time in the Attitude Era because it was allowed to be hot. I guess, whatever. It was, what's his name? It was Vince Russo's influence that made it good, I believe. But now, I wouldn't even watch that stuff now. But here's the thing. Here's the reason why it wouldn't be mainstream. And it's something that everybody has overlooked. And it's not because it's scripted. No, that's not the reason why either. Oh, wrestling is scripted. It's fake. Everything on TV is scripted. Everything on TV is scripted. That's not a valid reason. You think Jerry fucking Springer is real? So, let me tell you the reason. It's because it doesn't involve real actors or real acting. Think about how many people could naturally just act without being taught how to act. That's one reason why it's not as good as it could be. It's not mainstream. Because look at everything else in the mainstream world, other than sports itself. It involves acting. Real actors. You have to be trained to act. These guys are trained to wrestle, but they're not trained to act. And that's one reason why you'll only see a very few elite at the top. Because those very few wrestlers could actually act, could actually carry themselves in a mic and not be stage fright and, and scared to be expressive. But not only are these guys not trained to act and they're just going up there not knowing a damn thing about acting, and playing out a gimmick, you also have factors that they're controlled by. You got these fucking 80, 90-year-old creative team misfits that don't know anything about acting writing their lines. They used to have more control over what they had to say on the mic. And now, you gotta say this, you gotta say that. Just go out there and call them a suffering succotash. And you know what I'm referencing, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns probably, judging by the fact that Roman Reigns is on a damn good job right now as a heel. He probably had this in him all along, for all we know. But you wouldn't know that because he's been controlled as a babyface to not sound good, to not sound like he can talk. No amount of mic skills or acting skills is going to make suffering succotash sound good. Like, who's telling him to say this shit? You won't hear it. Look at any movie. You won't hear anybody talking like this. This is why I say the creative team doesn't know acting. And this is one thing that always sucked about wrestling as a whole. Look, I know my father might, but look at how I handle my characters in those RPG shows. You don't have to watch the whole fucking 40-something minutes of the shit. I'm just saying, just look somewhere in the middle. Look at a certain character. Look at their mannerisms. Look at how much they focus on their character. That's acting. You know, I was treating these characters I made up like real people. No real person is going to say suffering succotash or something that cheesy. Like, nobody's that cringe. So not only are the wrestlers not actors, they're not professional actors. They might go into acting, but they can't act. They can't actually act. Even The Rock. You think The Rock is a better actor than fucking James Woods or anybody else that I could think of, which is there's plenty of actors? No. His fame came from wrestling. He was hot when wrestling was hot. And he's a great actor compared to everybody else there who can't talk a lick on the mic. But these guys are not trained actors. But everybody else on TV is filled with trained actors. Yeah, you can wrestle, but that's why these guys today don't go anywhere. Yeah, you can wrestle, but you were trained to wrestle, but it's wrestling entertainment, which means you need to know how to act. And you're trained to wrestle, but you're not trained to act, which means you're only doing half your job. So that's what the problem is. So that's why it looks phony, it looks cringe. And you see these guys who can't act. That's what it is.